This is an ABC News special report. Trump and Kim, the historic summit. Now reporting from Singapore, David Muir.
Hello again, everyone, and we come on the air because there is more breaking news to share with you. Let's go right to the images right now. President Trump sitting down with Kim Jong Un, the North Korean leader, and let's listen to what the president's saying.
Which is in a little bit less than 2 hours, and we'll discuss this at great length. In the meantime, I believe that they'll be handing it out on behalf of Chairman Kim and myself, and we're both very honored to sign the document. Thank you.
우리가 매우 중요한 문서에 서명을 하게 될 것입니다. 이 문서는 굉장히 포괄적인 문서이고 오늘 굉장히 좋은 아주 훌륭한 회담을 가졌고 또 아주 좋은 관계를 구축하였습니다. 2시 반, 즉 다시 말해서 약 2시간 후에 나는 기자회견을 할 예정입니다. 거기서 좀 더 자세하게 말씀을 드리겠습니다만은 일단 그 와중에 그동안에는 발표문이 기자들에게 배포될 것으로 알고 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Would you like to say something to the press?
우리는 오늘 역사적인 이 만남에서 지난 과거를 덮고 새로운 출발을 알리는 그 역사적인 문건에 서명을 하게 됩니다.
Today, we had a historic meeting and decided to leave the past behind, and we are about to sign a historic document.
세상은 아마 중대한 변화를 보게 될 것입니다.
The world will see a major change.
오늘과 같은 이런 자리를 위해서 노력해 주신 트럼프 대통령께 사의를 표합니다.
I would like to express my gratitude to President Trump to make this meeting happen.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
So there you see it. President Trump signing along with North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un. And you heard the comments from Kim Jong Un just moments ago saying we are going to sign a pretty comprehensive document. We've had a great time together. We are going to put the past behind us, and that the world is about to see
Absolutely.
amazing change. Let's listen to the president.
Would you talk about automobiles, sir?
The president saying you will begin to see the change quickly.
You'll be seeing
Reporters in the
everything in
room,
just a
you can
little
hear them
while.
asking questions.
The letter that we're signing is very comprehensive, and I think both sides are going to be very impressed with the result. A lot of goodwill went into this, a lot of work, a lot of preparation. I want to thank everybody on both sides, Secretary Pompeo and all of his counterparts. They were absolutely fantastic.
네, 조금 후에 우리가 서명한 발표문의 내용에 대해서 곧 알게 될 것입니다. 아까도 얘기했습니다마는 매우 포괄적인 그러한 문서이고 양측이 그 결과에 대해서 굉장히 만족할 만한 결과입니다. 이 문서를 서명하고 또 이런 그 만남을 갖기 위해서 많은 사람들이 선의를 가지고 노력했고 또 많은 준비 작업이 있었습니다. 그 양측의 그러한 작업을 해주신 분들에 대해서 감사드립니다. 거기에는 폼페오 장관뿐만 아니라 조선 측의 그러한 여러 참여자분들에게 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you a little bit later. And we're very proud of what took place today. I think our whole relationship with North Korea and the Korean Peninsula is it's going to be a very much different situation than it has in the past. We both want to do something. We both are going to do something. And we have developed a very special bond. So people are going to be very impressed. People are going to be very happy. And we're going to take care of a very big and very dangerous problem for the world. And I want to thank Chairman Kim. Spent a lot of time together today, very intensive time. And I would actually say that it worked out for both of us far better than anybody could have expected. I think far better. I watched the various news reports. I would say far better than anybody even predicted. And this is going to lead to more and more and more. And it's an honor to be with you. Very great honor. Thank you. Thank you to all of your representatives very much.
우리 둘 다 오늘 둘 다 뭔가 이루어내려고 싶어하고 또 둘의 특별한 관계가 오늘 시작됐습니다. 그리고 우리는 아주 여러 가지 중요한 여러 가지 문제의 해결에 시작을 했다라고 말씀드릴 수가 있습니다. 김 위원장님께 감사드리고 또 내가 보기에는 오늘 만남이 누가 기대했던 것보다 또 누가 예측했던 것보다도 좋은 만남이고 좋은 결과로 이루어질 것 같습니다. 또 앞으로 더 많은 진척이 있을 것 같고 이렇게 만나게 된 것을 영광으로 생각합니다. 김 위원장님 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Will you invite Chairman Kim to the White House?
Absolutely, I will.
Mr. Kim, would you like
And
to
there you have it, an extraordinary scene unfolding here in Singapore, about 1:44 our time here in the afternoon. We're 12 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, 1:45 in the morning Eastern Time back in the U.S. President Trump, Kim Jong Un signing paperwork just moments ago, a document. The president said, I think our whole relationship is going to be with the Korean Peninsula, he said, much different than in the past. We want to do something. We're going to take care of a dangerous problem, he said. He called this a letter and said it's very comprehensive. A lot of goodwill went into it, a lot of preparation. They did not offer any more details. And of course, the details are what matter here. There has been debate in the last 24 hours. Would the president in these meetings today get Kim Jong Un to decide to give up his nuclear weapons, a complete denuclearization? Or would this just be the beginning of a new relationship with North Korea, a reset, if you will? Secretary Pompeo saying in the last 24 hours that the sanctions will remain until North Korea completely and verifiably eliminates its weapons of mass destruction. And Martha Raddatz, our chief global affairs anchor, joins me now. And Martha, that's unclear how far we have gotten yet between the president and Kim Jong Un. What is clear is the history made, the fact that they were both sitting at this table together signing this letter.
History indeed made. It is an historic day. This is less than 5 hours when they sat down together. I know we said earlier that he's following a script. It seemed like that script went even better than he expected. I think the only thing that the president said that gave us any hint about nuclear weapons was we're going to take care of a dangerous problem. And that, of course, to the rest of us means nuclear weapons. So whether they sign something that says we're going to go forward and talk about this at another time or we're going to address it, it doesn't sound like there's anything concrete, but we just don't know at this point.
Let's bring in Tom Bossert, former Homeland Security Advisor for President Trump, now an ABC News analyst. And Tom, you were watching this with us, and you have been saying, as we've been on the air for hours now, the devil is in the details.
Yeah, it is, and it's hard to read the tea leaves here, but there's this notion of disarming, then disabling, then dismantling that the U.S. was seeking. And I would read a little into Secretary Pompeo's remarks that perhaps we got them to agree to disarming, which would be a massive breakthrough if that was the case. The dismantling and disabling could come later in a sequenced fashion. And at this point, we're speculating to that. But either way, a really historic development that they've signed this mutual agreement.
Mutual agreement. And to hear Kim Jong Un say himself that we're going to put the past behind us and that the whole world is going to see change, Martha.
Extraordinary statement from him. It's extraordinary just to hear from Kim Jong Un sitting there right next to President Trump. But as we've said all day, all night, David, they have to verify whatever happens. This is not a relationship, and I'm sure Tom Bossert would agree with me, that you can depend on trusting the North Koreans, no matter how friendly that looks, no matter how many pats on the back, no matter how they walk out together, they have to verify this isn't a relationship you can trust.
And we heard the Secretary of State say in the last 24 hours, we will not lift these economic sanctions. There will not be economic relief unless we see complete denuclearization. We're in the overnight hours back in the States, and so I do want to bring in Nightline anchor Juju Chang, who's been watching this unfold with us. And Juju, we were getting word that the South Korean president, President Moon, and the cabinet, they were watching all of this unfold today, obviously as they would, but with smiles, including the president smiling when he saw President Trump shake Kim Jong Un's hand. And as Martha points out, that was just a few hours ago, and now they have signed this letter in front of the world.
And what strikes me, David, I have to say, is when you see the smiles and you see the handshakes and you see Kim walking around as a tourist in this futuristic city of Singapore, all I can think of is here's a dictator, a head of state who has sent, according to defectors, people to prison just for watching K-pop videos or taking part in anything that's Western or even engaging in capitalism. And yet here he is today shaking the hand of an ultimate capitalist and making nice with the West, which was just equated with evil for decades under his regime. His family's regime, anyway.
You're looking at live pictures right now. President Trump, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un walking down the colonnade there at the Capella Hotel. That's on Sentosa Island. The president was asked at the White House in recent days when North Korea's former chief spy master visited, delivering that letter from Kim Jong Un, if they talked about human rights while meeting in the Oval Office. He said it did not come up. He said perhaps it will with Kim Jong Un. You heard Juju allude to that a moment ago. Though obviously we don't have a full readout of their discussions as of yet. Unclear if human rights came up, and unclear, John Carl, who joins us now, whether or not there was any kind of agreement in principle for complete denuclearization, which is what we heard Secretary of State Mike Pompeo pressed repeatedly on in the last 24 hours. And you heard the president, John, asked about that as he walked down the colonnade there at the hotel. Have you gotten Kim Jong Un to agree to give up his nuclear weapons?
A lot of unanswered questions, David, a lot of unanswered questions about what exactly was signed, what the mechanisms will be for putting that agreement into action, whatever it was. But on the human rights question, if you think back to the president's State of the Union address and the guest in the First Lady's box, the North Korean defector who the president told the story about how he defected on his crutches and made his way across China. And that emotional high point of the speech, the president in that speech said, and this is an exact quote, "No regime has oppressed its own citizens more totally or brutally than the cruel dictatorship in North Korea." That was just months ago during the State of the Union address. Going into this meeting today, all of the guidance, all that I had been hearing from senior administration officials was that this meeting today would be about the nuclear issue, would not be about human rights. So there are a lot of questions. Is there a real nuclear agreement that will be in place? The president talked about North Korea becoming a part of the real world, as he put it. And as Kim Jong Un wants to make that move, but will there be any insistence that the most brutal dictatorship in the world will have to do something to scale back the repression?
What did you learn about him?
I can only imagine what. Let's listen to this. This is live.
What did you learn about him, sir?
I learned he's a very talented man. I also learned that he loves his country very much.
When will you see each other again? Will you be meeting again, sir? Will you see each other again?
We'll meet again. We'll meet many times. Thank you very much, everybody.
It has been a day of firsts here in Singapore. The first time a sitting U.S. president has met with the leader of North Korea, and President Trump proving, as he so often does, that he is a skilled television personality from the past, and talking to reporters moments ago, telling them that he will hold a news conference before the International Press Corps gathered here a short time from now. When he does hold that press conference, take questions, offer more detail about the letter that was just signed by these two leaders, we will carry it live. We will also have West Coast Nightline live for you coming up here, more at abcnews.com. And he also said there that we'll be meeting many, many times. You saw the handshake, and one thing that struck me is he said that of Kim Jong Un, I also learned he loves his country too. And those were the final words before they shook hands once again and parted ways. The beginning of a relationship, the president alluding to where there'll be many more meetings to come. Our thanks to John Carl, Martha, Tom, and we'll be joining you again shortly when the president addresses the International Press Corps gathered here in Singapore. I'm David Muir. We'll see you shortly.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.